swarms of bees that move in there and use it. It's a perfect spot. They love it. And you can prevent it by taking a little piece of foam rubber, sticking it in those holes, and just do that. Go throughout your whole yard. Go ahead and just put a little piece of foam rubber. You can do that, or you can drop a bolt, like a bolt. Drop it into the hole, and then you put a nut on the other side, so the bolt will actually slip up. Use it as a handle. And when you drop it, it covers the hole. So I've done that. I've done that for many people, where you just put a bolt in every one of those holes, and it drops in. And then you actually pick the bolt up, lift the lid up. So you need to cover the finger hole, and anything that's the size of your pinky, you're gonna have bees going in there.
Paul, if you've got time, can you talk about how they communicate, how honeybees communicate?
No one knows how honeybees communicate.
Do that dance?
Nah, bee dance is not. It's just for style.
Oh.
Actually, there's been, you would not believe, they have no clue how bees communicate, especially when they're in a swarm, a big ball of bees hanging from a tree. Somehow, some bees get through that swarm and through that ball of bees and communicate with the queen, and then she follows that bee to go to a new cavity somewhere. They're called scout bees. So bee communication is I don't know if we'll ever know.
Do you think that the colony collapse that happened in the 70s was severe enough that the bees that we have today are genetically much different than the bees that survived that colony collapse? Because I'm kind of, in my mind, I'm comparing it to how we create these superbugs in our bodies by taking antibiotics. There was something that kind of acted as an antibiotic in a way that killed all these bees, and then the ones that survived, that somehow were resistant to what was ever killing those other bees, are genetically now a different bee.
Yeah,
not
probably.
totally different.
Yeah, that type of genetic drift, or it's just part of evolution. Yeah. Which our bees now are completely different. It's kind of called a bottleneck, when most of the species drops all the way down to a few little resistant ones. Then all of a sudden, all types of things can happen. Then they repopulate from that small little colony. And yeah, I'm sure our bees are very different than from before. But at the same time, there's tons of private beekeepers that their bees were okay, and then those genetics are being put back in. Good question.
Speaking as a member of the Beekeeping Society and a renegade, illegal beekeeper, urban beekeeper, about the queens that you're talking about, in our society we now have two individuals that are breeding some disease-resistant queens. There are disease-resistant queens now. They now have 3 fertilized queens, and the next generation of that, I don't know how many queens they're going to get out of that, will be very disease-resistant. And then the next generation after that are going to be bred to the survivor stock, which is what you're talking about. So you have to hope that when they breed with that survivor stock that's in the air, that they may not be disease-resistant, but they may be gentle, or they may be Africanized, in which case we kind of go back to the same problem with the Africanized bee. But if you join the Beekeepers Society, not that I'm trying to get people to join, at least you'll have access to queens, hopefully in the next year or so, that we will have local queens. The reason we don't breed queens in San Diego County, there is a queen breeder, and he artificially inseminates all his queens, is because of the Africanized stock. So we have to buy our queens. I mean, I got my queens from Vacaville. That's as close as I can get them. I mean, you have to do it, or you're kind of stuck with the same problem.
You just got them a couple of weeks ago, didn't you? Maybe I saw you post something.
Yeah.
Hey Daniel, I want to let Daniel, he's helping with this Beekeepers Association, and I'd like to give him a few minutes to talk about what that association's doing, and so, would that be all right?
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Hi, I'm Daniel with San Diego Beekeeping Society. We've been in existence now for a little bit over a year. We have beginning and experienced beekeepers. We meet third Monday of each month unless it falls on a holiday. What we basically do is use our own resources within our organization and try to educate each other. We have a monthly meeting and we put events where we cover new things. And just like Lori just said, we have an initiation right now to breed queens that are adapted for our environment. We don't have to buy queens from the Midwest because they're adapted to that environment. Unless we breed our own queens for our environment, then we would not get the best out of what nature gives. But we do have experienced people that could take you under their wing and teach you all the secrets about bees. Right now we have two things going on with our organization. The first one is the Mason Bee Project. It's the native bee, trying to attract native bees, just like what Paul covered. We have a box that you could make one house for native bees. It's a 4x4 or 6x4 wood. We're launching this project with the Greater Sunflower Project. So we are giving out to people that came to our booth sunflower seeds with instructions on how you could sign up for both projects. So this is two projects in one. Not everybody in here, I know a lot of people raise their hand and say they want to keep bees, but most of you might not be able to keep because of your living situation, or it's, you haven't made that decision. But this is something that you could do and help our bee population, and you could do it in your apartment or condominium. It doesn't take much know-how. The beauty about keeping bees in any situation, whether it's a native bee or the honeybee, they know what they need to do. You only need to know what you need to know because of your curiosity, because you're not going to do anything that's going to change how the bees do their thing. So we encourage people, at the break, or if you come by the booth by those, where we had lunch today, you could talk to us or pick any of these materials, and I have you. I have a tear-off flyer that will get you to our website. And we have a meetup site and a website, so you could go, if you're comfortable enough to join our meetup, join our meetup. That's where most of our discussion and schedule is. But if you're just interested to know, things about beekeeping, other links, you could go to our website. We also have a swarm list on our website. If people run into swarms and they want it removed, you could go there and contact some, experienced beekeepers that will pick up swarms. They might charge because it's work for some of them, and it costs money really to keep bees, just like Paul said. You have to buy a box for them, you need to pay rent and food, so some of them charge you. But if you're trying to help somebody who has problems, maybe send us an email. We'll see what we could do to help them, if there is anybody who's willing to take it for free. Those are the things we do, and we're available for questions later on, so if you have any questions. And Lori is our secretary. I'm the president of our association.
We're supposed to split it too, is that right? Okay. So, here's a nice birdhouse. Birds are still in there, they can't get out. They're bee eaters, so it's all right. It's funny, you'll find, they went into that birdhouse and they filled the cavity, and then of course real quickly they're like, this is not big enough. And they went outside and built combs hanging from it, and it was a very large colony in a tiny little birdhouse. So you can find that. Here's one of those meter box. So that was the metal lid to a water meter, and then they're cut off and put into in frames and then stuck into a box. And okay, so you have to think about what your intention is if you want to keep bees. You want just honey? You want to support wildlife? You want to have a relationship with insects? It's all about animal behavior and understanding their behavior. That's like the key thing. And if you understand their behaviors, you're pretty much, not very often you're going to get stung, maybe never. But if you don't understand their behavior, you're just going to get stung a lot. You got to understand their needs and get ready for your 50,000 new pets. You'll find all, this is my lovely assistant Ellen, he's my